OG back on the screen. Make sure y'all drop that like, subscribe, hit me with that comment. Alright, listen. On ball defense. This is what we're talking about today. NBA 2K23 defense. Now, this is the new thing that I have to break to you guys. A lot of people think the defense is going to be so much more easier because they say defense is more favored. But remember, it's like we don't want to believe the truth. We know that nobody that is under a super high skilled has played the game and tested it out with max badges in the park, in the rec, in pro-am, you know, all in whatever, just playing against another person at a high level with knowledge, awareness, and wisdom of the game already to understand it enough to say, yeah, the defense is really that much favored. No. While Wang is still tweeting on Twitter that he's still toying with adrenaline, still looking at certain stuff, he still released another tweet talking about should he put up the attribute for Curry's dribble sig. So that means he had it low at one point and then he's changed his mind and said, I'm gonna put it up now. So that means they're still going back and forth, still thinking like, we want to get this right, we want to make sure this is right. They still doing that, but not sitting back like, yeah, everything's perfect, we're good to go. You know, come on now, that wouldn't be realistic for us to think that way. So we got a great clip here. Just drink the water. So today we have the best clip that I've seen that was going to add to this video, that was going to make this video even more of what I need it to be. So Downwork put this to Wang. When ball handlers dribble directly into a defender and just keep sliding in place, these should be bump steals or turnovers. I think that would encourage smarter gameplay. Yes, true, and they did this. Remember when we first started this game, steals was crazy. If you had pickpocket, like the bump steals was crazy. They was too easy to get. It was to the point where pair lockdowns was literally pressing. Like, see, they would love to do something like that, but then you have it to where you have the pair lockdowns when they have the 90 steals and stuff like that, and they're pressing up the court. And this is why they added the new shading system and the new adrenaline to where people can speed past you now a little bit. I'm gonna break that down a little bit more, but just keep paying attention. Watch the full video. Now, timestamp where I said watch the full video. I want to see who loyal. Let's see who do it. But now look, right? So we know that in the beginning of this game, 2K22, in the beginning of this game, we know NBA 2K22, the steals was OP. Everybody was my career and everybody come up the court. The lockdowns was just pressing, like you was just seeing people get plucked. The devs was watching, trust me, streams and stuff like that, watching good players, seeing all that getting played out like that. Guess what? Patch is coming. So all they did was just turn up the radius of wherever like you're positioned at. You can still get my careers. That's why you can still get my careers, but it depends on how much openness like the players like having the ball exposed for you to get the my career, right? We all understand it now. You can still get my careers even after that crazy patch that they did to the my careers. But in the beginning of the game, it was crazy. Everybody was getting pluck. It was so easy still. Everybody started complaining. Boom, they patched it. So this year, I feel like they're gonna have it refined even more. They changed it up, and I'm gonna break that down, watch in deep detail, right? But we see it right here. This is it playing out after the patch. This is how it would look in game now. So right here, you will see stuff like this. They're not giving him this still because his ball handling is still, his ball control is still very high, and the unpluckable can probably be on a high level, right? This is how they reduced it, so there wasn't all the time my careers, because it would be all the time my careers for players a lot of times, right? So you will still see stuff like this go through, and in replace, what's supposed to be here is like hand contact animations, right? Hand contact animations. Let me show y'all that real quick. I like to flip really quick just so y'all be like, what? Because some people are like, nah, that's not supposed to be in there, man. But watch. We're seeing it right here in this trailer. Let me slow it down. Boom. You can see where Kobe is on Jordan's body. Let me show you guys. All right. In basketball, right, there's a lot of more And you don't see that in 2K because it's a video game. It's like they have to have a whole bunch of animations that correlate to all those type of animations in the game. Just so, right? Just so it can look like this, right? You see where has that elbow. Kobe has his arm up. He's putting a little bit of body because strength takes certain strength abilities on certain plays, or when you're just making contact going in the paint and you getting tired, you know. So these animations are supposed to be here more. Hand contact animations, swipe down animations, or just better contact fumbling animations where you can still regain control of yourself, rather than them having it where it's like you're just slipping through, because then it's going to look ugly on screen. This is what I just say. This is just 2K lacking the technology to make this look like a more of a play where he kind of like stopped dribble, started like covering up the ball and getting low and dribbling. You see, they don't got nothing like that to where you can get the ball, you just get low, you dribble, you turn around, turn your back around, like how you really see in basketball, right? I could take the ball I could stop and take the ball right here between that player and just start dribbling a little bit low, bring it back. There's a whole bunch of different type of mechanics. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. This is why they talk about gestures, and they're starting to implement all this stuff in now, because they're trying to get all these little details, like all the type of details in real life basketball, all the type of stuff that could play out, right? So you see it right here again. Look, you see it right there. That's one of them. They got one of them, but that's the main little force pickup animation you see. And you see how he can still regain control. Let's stay on to the fact of how 2K is showing that we're letting this man regain control, because he could have unpluckable on a high level, right? That's what it does. That's what it helps you with, right? So look, boom, boom, boom. And it depends on, let me see, gold clamps. See, you can get through a gold clamps, because you're supposed to really reach on those. Like, it's not all the time, but sometimes. It depends. It depends. It's tricky. It depends how the game was going. It's 0-0. It's a fresh game, so he's just playing defense right there off the rip, right? But you see how he turns, right, and he's dribbling forward. Like, 2K has to learn how to make a better animation right here, because his body is just on him. He's not in a defensive crawl. He's running. So you see how dime work is also running. So this is what I mean by their animation. The pictures on screen, how they're showing it to us, it's not playing out properly. Right here, they should have it where you get into automatic animation. Downward gets into an automatic animation where he's kind of like this, kind of like fumbling with him with the ball, and he's kind of like fumbling with the ball, and then maybe it's like a little fight animation to regain. Either he's gonna strip you, or he regains control. And it depends on who made the best animation. But let's make sense out of it. Downward is running like this. He's running. So let's put it like in real life. I'm running into somebody like this. Like, he's not in a defensive stance ready to pluck it or bump it. It's just his body is placed there. But that's what I'm trying to say. 2K's animations is messed up. Like, their visuals of how they try to get. You see how he ran past him? Look. He ran past him. So it's like he's not making the play either, to where it's like, and it's just he can't, because it's just based off of this little bumping mechanism. I don't even know what to call it, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. It's this little bumping feature right here where he can't really do anything. He can't press L2 to get in defensive crawl, and it's going to make him stop and bump the dude up. I get it. I understand it. The one clamp animation already played out, and now it's this little bump gap space thing playing out. And this is what I'm talking about, where 2K needs to make it like a little fight. You bumping, the point guard is bumping to show his clamps is still playing out and working and protecting him. Then players will be like, okay, I see it, and they'll do something new. You know what I mean? They'll flip around and do something new and understand what's playing out here. His clamps on a high level. I mean, his unpluckable, I meant to say, is just on a high level. Y'all got that. His unpluckable is on a high level. So that's all that is saving him right here. His unpluckable is right here. That's it. That's it. So sometimes you have to back up from this and then come back again and stick the clamps again. That was my method, but they, like I said, I understand how y'all say they just need to fix certain stuff like this, right? This is why I say they gotta get their animations better played out. But when we look over here and we watch this, like I'll show you guys again, we watch this, we seeing it right here. They starting to get more with it. Contact. the shading system, the new one-on-one attacking system. I know there's gonna be way more bumping. They have it in the description when we go right here. Look, when we go and look right here, we go to defense, right? Defense. No, right here. Clamp breaker helps ball handlers win more one-on-one body bump confrontations. The counter is clamps. Body bumps. So there's body bumps in the game now, and I guarantee you these body bumps play out with strength. Certain players with certain strength, certain players, depending on your strengths, how it's equaled out, it gives you a certain animation where now when y'all driving against each other, you may not slow down as much. Y'all may keep up at the same rate. You know, it's a lot of differences that we have to use your imagination to start reading how it's saying body bump. Does it say that in clamps? No. Does that say that in the clamps description when we read the clamps badge? No, it doesn't. You see what I'm saying? So this is how we know body bump confrontations is a new thing now. When you bump into somebody, or you trying to go past somebody too fast and he cuts off in a certain zone. When we go back up to the defense and read the defense, right? On ball defense. For the floor game, on ball defense movement and body ups received a major refresh, right? Wasn't calling it body ups at first, but now they're giving more of the spill of what they are telling us is activating in the game now. With the new content that's more accurate, depicts today's one-on-one player interactions, right? You'll also notice a new indicator on the ball handler when guarding position. So this new indicator, I don't look at it as skill because it was something like that in the game already. What was the badge called? I forget what it was called. I don't know if it's defensively. I don't know what it was called, but there was some badge that just showed you certain little zones or something like that, you know, and it made you pay attention to it more. I just kind of look at it that way. I don't feel like it's going to be something that's going to be throwing us off too much. But I personally, if there's a way to turn it off, I'm going to turn it off because I don't want anything blinking showing me certain zones to cut off. When you hoop in real life and you play basketball, you know certain zones to cut off. When you know certain animations, you watch a certain build, you know the speeds, you know certain moves, you know what moves he may have left depending on how much power moves he did. Once you start calculating the game like that, you know where to be at. You know where to place yourself at. Especially when it just comes to picks and rotating and zones and shading like that, and shading and help defense. That's so easy. I don't need a marker to show me that. Or when a player's dribbling. Or even when a player's dribbling. You know, I'm always watching the hips and watching the movements. Like, okay, when he makes a launch move, or I'm just keeping myself balanced, looking at what's more side, what space is more open on the court, which side he may leap to, drop back. You know, I got a lot of defensive little tricks in the bag, right? So I feel like the new shading system, the 3 bars, is really for new players because there's so many players. Like, if you played in the rec, if you played in the park, players are just literally bad at defense. It's so bad. And they added the new foot planted technology to where now we slide on defense. If you bite, you make the wrong move. This is still in the game. This is one thing I want y'all to know. This is still in the game. This is why launch animations is here now. It's never used to be like that. First quick step and having it on high levels, right? So knowing that is there, that is changing. Oh my gosh, it's so loud. So when they added the new foot planted technology, right, from now, it's where they turned down the controls to where they don't let you get automatic clamp animations. If you watch the Caesar guy's video, everybody watch his video. He said it. He's a dev, right? They thought everybody was getting those way too easy, so they added in that new system to where now you can slide. Now you have to actually work with your sticks, make the right judgment, use enough turbo to get to a spot, go back, cover it, press Y to cover a certain spot, make the right judgment to jump and leap, and use a lot of turbo to leap at a certain shot. Like, come on, I showed y'all the Draymond Green, right, in NBA 2K. Look, I showed y'all the drill. I want to show it one more time because this is about defense. Let's go to the NBA 2K 23 trailer, right? This is about defense. Look how smooth we can do this because I just memorize it. I keep the notes all stacked. So I'm gonna slow this down, right? Now look at this block. I say right here, remember they say when we use on defense, when we going for blocks and steal attempts, right? Look at Draymond Green's block. We never had a block like this in 2K. Leaping like that. Look at the kick in the legs. Look how he goes back and gets it, right? So this is showing right here, the whole system is different. They're looking at blocks because when you really go for a block, like I said in real life, that is a lot of energy when you jumping up high. So they're toning down how much power blocks you can go for. Not saying that you can't still get a block depending on your rating, but it's just a new system that I can see that they have there that's balancing out on both offense and defense. In 2K's eyes, what I can start seeing from now, they want to patch offense and defense. Offense, how did they do that? With the meter off, because really when you have meter on, it's really like players like that. I still feel like players with meter on still have to play in a certain way. They still play in a certain style, and it's easy to tell when they're going to shoot. I don't know why it's like that still, but that's why they started added in this new effect with the meter off. It's a different type of feel to the game, and they've been sticking with it since. But what they did to patch it was turn off the green lights before getting off the ground, so it's going to build up more of a suspense. You shooting, I say that every video because I want to make people understand that that's a different aspect to the game. Defense, now with this aspect, they still have the little sliding mechanics, but now they tone with the adrenaline, with the steal feature. Everybody's not going to have that much steals, but when people do go for their steals, if it is deserving, you may get your steals now, depending on your steal rating and how you cover and shade and cover up a zone. So these 3 bars, right? I feel like this just came for the noobs, because when you play rec, you play the park, they really don't know how to play defense. They don't know how to slide over, switch, cover up a zone. So now these zones are going to help them know how to, okay, let me slide over here to be able to protect themselves against left-right movement. But you got to understand, like I always say, how can you stop a person from going left to right in a video game? You can't. You can slow it down, which is what they're doing, but you can never ultimately stop them from going left to right in a basketball video game. You know, where you got an analog stick that moves all around. Like, how can you do that? You can't do that if you really understand it. So all they can do is slow it down, which is why they added in the adrenaline features to slow down certain speed boosters. So I look at it just like we got 3 powerful speed boosters, and then you can still speed boost normally. You can still speed boost normally and get certain launch animations normally. But those adrenaline is like when you're really like adrenaline, cracked off of adrenaline. Don't you know when people take adrenaline, certain esports players used to take it to go crazy in the tournaments? Yeah, what you mean? So they just added in the 2K now. So these 3 bars, I really feel like it's for the noobs. I wouldn't need this. I'm pretty sure, hopefully we could turn these off. I'm pretty sure, but we'll see how it plays out. I feel like everybody looking at bars is going to be like, I feel like you can definitely probably turn this off. The zone, the defender is shown in red. If the ball handler attempts to attack the lane, they'll get cut off or lose the dribble or fumble the ball. Okay? So I could understand this, like for real, you could cover this up and I could look at a lane. If the lane just looks bad to try to attack, I already know it's going to cause a fumble. So I feel like this little indicator, this depending on the movement speed, I go deep with it. So same with the shot blocking. Like I said, y'all see how they said they made it more realistic, the targeting system. So I just feel like everything is just playing out more of a balanced way. People got to look at it like this year we got too much of everything with the glitch builds. We was able to do everything with a lot of builds. Just dumb it down, make it make sense out like that. Dumb it down, make it make sense like that. Everybody got everything with the glitch builds this year. They want to balance it, so you could still have multiple builds and they have different unique abilities, but not everybody have it to where it's like, oh, I got this one build and it could do everything that anybody's build can do. No, nothing like that. If you have the skill to play in different role sets and get the job done, then you just nice. But that takes skill and IQ. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys understand this now. 2K is gonna polish up. I feel like 23 next gen, they definitely polished up more of the body bump animations to where it's gonna look clean now. It's gonna look deserving when somebody actually fumbles and then you strip them. It's like, yeah, man, you just can't dribble, man. You dribbling the wrong way and stuff like that. It's gonna look like that. All right, y'all hit that like, subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next.